the Birdhouse planner that you guys are doing, a bill of materials just tells us how much lumber we need to buy and how much it's going to cost. And when in these cells right here, these yellow cells we're going to enter manually. These cells we will enter manually the first time, and then after that it will calculate everything for it. I'm not just looking for numbers here. I am actually looking for a formula right here, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. But if you're just copying numbers, you're not going to get credit. All right. So the first part that we're going to do, I always start out with, let me go over to Birdhouse. I'm going to do the front piece right here. These front pieces, this front piece and the back piece are 12 inches. So we're going to do front and back pieces. Material, this is all going to be made out of 1x6 treated. So I'm going to put 1x6 PT. PT stands for pressure treated. Quantity is 2. The length is 12. The total length. Now, to get the total length, I have 2 pieces 12 inches long. 2 times 12 is 24 inches. But you're not going to want to do the math all the time. And even though you can do something this simple in your head, you're not going to want to do it later whenever it's harder numbers and decimals and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this cell times this cell, and it's going to equal this cell. So to get the computer to recognize any formula, first you have to put it in equals. Once you put it in equals, it will. I've done this so many times that it knows. It's like guessing what I'm going to do next. C3 times D3. That star right there is times, and to get a times, you do Shift 8. All right, but I'm going to show you how to do it manually. I'm going to click on this. That puts C3. I'm going to hit Shift 8, which is times. Then I'm going to click on D3. That's going to tell me right here that equation right there, that formula equals C3 times D3 is going to equal 24, which is exactly what we thought it would. Now you hit enter. Once you do that, and you can take this right here and drag this down to right here. Now these are all zeros because we don't have anything here and here yet. But once we put something here and here, it's going to give you a number here. Now we don't buy lumber by the inch, we buy it by the foot. So we're going to take this number and turn it into feet. And we do that by dividing by 12. But yet again, we want the computer to do this for us. So we're going to hit equals this cell, grab a hold of E3. Now we're going to hit divide. Divide is the slash. That is down near the right-hand shift button. So just hit slash 12. Then we're going to hit enter again. That's going to tell me that 24 inches is 2 feet. 24 inches is 2 feet, which is right. I always like to double check to make sure that the computer gets these things right. Sometimes you'll hit an extra button or something like that, and the next thing you know, you've got a wrong calculation somewhere. So make sure that when you put it in that the numbers look correct. We're going to drag this down, and yet again, there's zeros here because there's nothing here to calculate. Board price. I said we were using a 1x6 pressure treated. We get to choose that. We're going to go to Lowe's. The Lowe's website right here, we're going to type in 1x6. Now we want pressure treated. They're going to have pressure treated and non-pressure treated. This right here is whitewood common softwood. That is not pressure treated. Right here is a 1x6 southern yellow pine above ground pressure treated. That's what we want. We're going to click on that. There are 6 foot, 8 foot, 10 foot, 12 foot. We're just going to roll with 8 foot. You can use any length lumber that you want, but one of these is 608. So we're going to go back over here. Sorry, that is my other class. We're going to go back over here and put a board price in of 608. I have all of these cells set up in this column right here, set up to where they go to a currency, so it's going to put the dollar sign automatically. And we're going to drag this down because our board price isn't going to change, except for our last board, which is going to be a 1x8. We'll go back and fix that in a minute. Board length. I said our board length was 8 feet, so we're going to type in 8. We're going to drag down 8. That's all going to stay the same. For price per foot, if the whole board costs $6.08 and we have 8 foot boards, we're going to take the price divided by the quantity. That's going to tell us the price per foot of that board. So, for example, if the board cost $8 and we had an 8 foot board, it would cost $1 per foot. This is not going to cost $1 per foot because it's less than $8. So we're going to take equals. That's our formula. You got to start it. Then we're going to do board price. All right. Divided by board length. That's going to tell me it's going to be 76 cents per foot. All right, so each foot of that board cost me 76 cents. We're going to drag that down. Now, our total cost per unit means how many feet we're using. So for the front and back pieces, we're using 2 feet. We're going to do 2 feet times 76 cents per foot. So we're going to do equals this cell, grab it, times, which is Shift 8. Then we're going to do this cell. So equals I3 times F3, and then we're going to hit enter. That's going to tell me that 2 foot of that is going to cost me $1.52. So 76 plus 76 right here is going to give you that $1.52. I'm going to drag this down as well. Now, once I've drug all of these down, I don't have to fill in these columns anymore. They will automatically fill in for me, okay? So our next pieces are going to be our side pieces. If we go down here, our side pieces here and on the other side are 9 1/4. So we're going to do side pieces. 1x6 pressure treated. There are 2 side pieces. They are 9 1/4. I'm going to put in 9.25. Now, notice that whenever I put that up, it fills in all this for me. So once I have those formulas in there, so if you look at this formula, it's equals E3 divided by 12. This one is E4 divided by 12. This one is E5 divided by 12. So it just copies that same thing down. That way all I've got to put in is these pieces now. Now we're going to do our angled pieces. There are angled pieces are 1x6 pressure treated. I'll show you what I mean by angled pieces. This piece right here, this piece right here, they are 5 1/4 inches long. Even though we're going to cut an angle on them, we still have to cut them. We're going to lose 5 1/4 off of our board. There are 4 of those, and I'm going to put in 5.25. All right. Then we're going to do our end pieces. Our end pieces are over here. That little end piece, this little end piece, those are 2 of those, and they're 3 inches long. So we're going to write end pieces, 1x6 pressure treated. Quantity, there's 2 of those, and they are 3 inches. And yet again, it fills all this information in for me. I don't have to do it, and it calculates all of it. I'll show you how to calculate later. Our roof pieces. I don't know why it's putting that in italics. We're going to take that out. 1x6. There are 2 roof pieces. 2 roof pieces, and I'm going to go down here. Your roof pieces are 7 1/2 inches this way. All right, so that's 7 1/2. Now, I can't do 7 1/2 like that because it doesn't recognize it in a spreadsheet. So I have to put 7 point what? 7.5. All right, so you can't do fractions in this because it won't compute for the computer. The last thing that we've got left is our bottom piece. The bottom piece is a 1x8. Now, I actually, most of the time, will give you guys some plywood or something like that, but let's say it's a 1x8. Now, one of the things I happen to know is that Lowe's does not carry a treated 1x8, so I typically have to go somewhere else for those. The quantity for your bottom piece is 1. The length for that is 17.5. All right, it fills up. The only thing we got to change here is our price. Our price for a 1x8 is typically around $9.48. 9.48. So we're going to change that. That bumps that up to $1.19 a foot, which is $1.73 total because you're using a little over a foot. Now our subtotal. So all of that fills itself in. All right. Our subtotal, we're going to highlight all of these, and right here you'll see sum 708, but it only gives me a sum as long as they're highlighted. So I'm going to click on these 3 dots. Your menu may already be expanded, but what you're looking for is this little epsilon symbol right here. You're going to click on that, and then you're going to click on sum. It's going to sum everything, and then you're going to hit enter. It will give you 708. Then we got sales tax in North Carolina. Sales tax is 7%. So we need this 708. That's our total. That's what it's going to cost to build this birdhouse out of lumber. That's not including nails, sandpaper, all that, right? Glue, any putty. It's not including all that. This is just the lumber. But we're going to take this times 0.07. So we're going to do equals this cell times 0.07 because that's sales tax. And we're going to enter. So sales tax on 708 is 50 cents. To get our grand total, we just need to add this column and this column together. So we're going to grab that and that. We're going to click our epsilon symbol. We're going to hit sum. We're going to hit enter. And we got a grand total of 758. That's just lumber. All in all, in the Birdhouse, you're probably going to have about $9 to $10 in the Birdhouse as far as all materials go. Screws, wood glue, sandpaper, all that. So hopefully this helped you understand how to get your bill of materials, how to figure everything out. But yet again, I'm looking for this formula here. I am not looking for so right here, if you just type in 1.25, but you don't have a formula here, you're not going to get credit. All right. I am looking for you to know how to put it in the spreadsheet correctly with a formula.